Hello and welcome back to the One Hotspur YouTube channel. I'm Toby from Spurs Center, and today I'm joined by Liam from Tottenham Voice. How you doing, Liam?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm doing quite well, thank you. And today we're going to be ranking which players from the Spurs squad need to be sold or loaned or not sold, in our personal opinions. So here we have the tiers, which is sell now, sell if they don't improve, sell if the price is right, loan, and do not sell. So let's kick it right off. First up, we got Sergio Reguilon. For me, he goes straight into do not sell.
Yeah, completely do not sell. Complete part of our future. I mean, he had kind of that rough last season, but I mean, all in all, fantastic back for us. And I mean, he proved his worth. So, of course, yeah, I agree. Do not sell.
I agree. He had a shaky end of last season, but we all saw the quality that was in him. So,
yep.
Next up, we have Alfie Whiteman, or Whitman. I'm not entirely sure how it's pronounced. For me, I'd say he should go on a loan, especially if we sign Pierluigi Golini. But what are your thoughts on Whitman?
Yeah, I would. I don't have much to say about Whitman, so I would definitely agree. Let him get the game time and let him develop as well. So that loan is probably good for us because, I mean, I could see him being a future team player like in the next 3 or 4 years, but right now he has no shot with us.
Yeah, I agree. Next up, we have Dele. And so here I should probably clarify this. I think the sell if they don't improve, I think that is basically just saying give them an extra season. And if they do improve, then we can keep them. If they don't sell them, and then this one is just sell them now if you get the right offer. And I think for me, I'd put him there. What do you think, though?
I would, someone offers 30, 40 million, I would 100% take that. Because, I mean, Dele used to be world class, but like he's been just so lazy as a player lately. I mean, everybody could say, "Oh, he's not lazy because of that bicycle kick he scored in Europa League," but I mean that's one goal. People I mean, I have been reading reports that he has been doing better under Nuno. So
I saw that as well.
Yeah, so also price is right. I would agree with you on that one, 100%.
All right. Next up, we have Eric Lamela, who rumored today to be involved in a swap deal with Sevilla for their player Brian Gill, I think. But regardless, I put him in sell now. What do you think?
Well, I mean, he's one of our hardest workers. I mean, it'll be sad to see him go, but I think it is time that we move on. But I mean, and we're getting a 20-year-old. I think he's 20.
Yeah, he's 20.
Has been called apparently the Spanish Cruyff, which I mean, if he's already been given nicknames like that, he must be a fantastic player then. So
I totally agree.
But
I mean, like you were saying,
I think hardest workers Tottenham will have probably. It is time to say goodbye to Coco and just move on with what we need with the club.
And I totally agree with you. I think we do need to recognize, just like as a fan base, that he's been one of our hardest workers throughout the past, however long he's been here. I think it's 8 seasons, maybe 7, but one of our hardest workers for sure. And he's given us some of our most memorable moments with his Rabonas and just antics on the field. But moving on to Hugo Lloris.
Arsenal.
Next up, we have Hugo Lloris, and I would also put him in the sell if the price is right. If we got like an offer for 15 or 20 million for Lloris, I'd definitely take it. And then hopefully we finalize that deal for Pierluigi Golini. But
Golini, I mean, I've seen him play. I've seen highlights, and he's actually an amazing goalkeeper. I mean, and he's only 26. So I mean. And so this is weird about goalkeepers. They don't usually hit their primes until they're about 29, 30 years old, which is very weird for a position. But, I mean, and we're getting Guarini, who's proven at Atalanta that
Yeah.
He is a valuable goalkeeper. And, I mean, I'd be fine with him being the heir to Hugo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
So.
Mm-hmm. Love Hugo, though.
Yeah, everybody loves Hugo, but it might be time to say goodbye. I don't know, because I mean, I think under Nuno we're trying to build something new completely, and I mean this is the first time this summer I'm actually seeing players like destined to leave under practitioner.
Yeah,
so I know that's not how you say his name, but
I've all been struggling with that. I've been saying Paratici, but then I've been listening to some other like Spurs podcasts and YouTube channels and things, and they've been calling him Paratici. So I'm a little confused. I'm not gonna lie. But next up we have Jack Clark, who reportedly told Nuno that he doesn't want to go out on loan next season and that he would prefer to stay at the club and fight for his place in the squad. So that would be interesting. I think for me, he needs a good loan before he can really try to break into the team. His last couple loans haven't gone the way he would have liked. I mean, he was doing really well at Stoke until he was injured. I think it was an ankle injury that ruled him out for however long, but it ruled him out for the rest of the season. I think he was only at Stoke for a couple months. So I think if he can get even if it's just a 6-month loan to a good team in the championship, like a team pushing for promotion, I think that would be ideal for him. But
I would agree. I mean, Jack Clark he's a good player, but he's got to get that experience under him, because if he wants to fight for his place, I don't think he's going to get playing time at all. I mean, because
I agree with you.
If we're signing the kid from Sevilla and we have one, we have or if we sign Lorenzo Insigne from Napoli.
That's true.
Which, by the way, I would absolutely love that signing, because
that'd be great.
I think he personally, in my opinion, I think he's one of the best wingers in the world. A lot of people would disagree. I understand why, but he brings that element. I mean, he had an amazing Euros as well. And if we brought that team, if we brought Insigne to Tottenham, I would absolutely love it. Play Kane's son and Insigne at that top.
Yeah.
But I mean, as back to Jack Clark, I mean, he needs the experience. I mean, he's still young. He's still a youth player technically, but I don't know. What is 21, 22 now?
I think he's either 20 or 21.
Okay. So he's still young and he's still not experienced enough for me to be able to be squad right now.
I think that's fair. Next up, we have Joe Hart, and this is a tricky one for me. I really like the mentality that he brings to the team, and he seems to have formed like a real bond with a lot of the players in only his first year at the club. So I'm tempted to put him in the do not sell, but on the other side, if we got like a 10 million bid for him, I'd say take it in a heartbeat. But I don't think anyone would offer that. So
I would agree.
I think I'm gonna put him in do not sell. I mean, he's a good backup or even third choice keeper to have if we sign Galini and Lurie stays.
That's true.
So yeah, I think I'd keep him at the club.
Yeah, we need that mentality in our locker room, because God knows we suck.
Yeah. All right. Next one is Højbjerg. I think that one's simple. Do not sell.
Yeah, pure. It's probably. I ranked him as second best CDM in the Premier League under Conte. 100%. I might rank him. I mean, if Højbjerg continues to play the way he's been playing the last season and during the Euros, anybody I think can make the argument that he could be one of the best CDMs in the world.
Yeah, I have to say I completely agree. And I think he got some criticism towards the end of last season. I think it was fair. His performances did drop a little bit, but I think now that Oliver Skip is back, we'll be able to rotate Højbjerg a little more, because I mean, I think people forget a lot that Højbjerg was I think it was only him and James Ward-Prowse that played every single minute of the Premier League season, are the only two outfield players, and that's not an easy thing to do. So I'm hoping next season, now that we have Skip back, he can take some minutes off of Højbjerg and
And
let
I'm
the Dane
excited.
rest a little bit.
I'm really excited to see what Skip could do because I know he
Mhm.
had a fantastic campaign with
Yeah.
Norwich on loan. So
Mhm.
I mean, I'm excited to see what our youth can do because
Yeah.
I've been excited about Dane, Scarlett,
Mhm.
all of
Yeah,
it. But yeah, I'm very hopeful about the future. So,
Mhm.
but
Next up, we have Serge Aurier, who has 1 year left on his contract and is not willing to renew.
please get out.
Yeah, I think we just have to get rid of him. Get the money that we can in now and sign
And I
a good replacement. Hopefully, Tomiyasu comes in. I'd like that.
never liked. Sorry for over talking you.
That's okay.
Personally, I have never liked Serge. I mean, people say always gotten under, but like his personality is just torturous to me because it just seems like he's never fit in well. He's always seemed to want to do his own thing, and he's never been that team player because I mean I don't know. That's my opinion about Serge, but.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I know he wants to leave back to PSG or go somewhere else, but yeah, let him. Because I mean, he's not.
Yeah, I agree with you. All right, next up we have Steven Bergwijn, and for me, I love Bergwijn, but I'd put him in the cell if he doesn't improve. I mean, 4 goals in a season and a half, that's just not good enough. I love the guy, and I think this could be a big year for him. I think he could do really well, but if he doesn't improve, there's no reason to keep him. So yeah, that's where I'd put him. But what do you think?
Well, I would actually maybe put Bergwijn in, and not because like he's probably my favorite Spurs player, but possibly be my favorite Spurs player. But I'm gonna say do not sell, and the reason I say this is because you don't find very many players with the type of speed that he has that could play on the wing. Because I mean, I have and this is a big assumption. I could see Nuno maybe trying to play him as a cam, maybe 1 or 2 season, just to see rotations and all that.
Yeah,
I mean,
that'd be interesting for sure.
It'd be interesting to see Bergwijn like take the next step because when we signed him, I was over the moon with that because I know he was at PSV. I mean, since we played him, but I mean, Bergwijn is probably a do not sell for me because of his versatility, because of his speed. Because you don't find many players with his type of capability. I mean, he could be a world-class player. We all have seen what he can do, especially that goal versus City. I flipped my shit that one, but but
I mean, he's definitely shown that he can be like a world-class player. I mean, you look at his goal against Man City, his goal against United, his goal against Aston Villa. He has the qualities and the tenacity to be a top player. I think it's just all about like bringing that out in him.
Yeah, it's all about the mentality as a player as well. So
yeah. All right,
I know.
Next up,
we have, do not. But
yeah, totally. Taking Dombele straight to the do not sell. I don't think we need to say anything about that. He's just a world-class player. And I think he gets a lot of stick for not lasting 90 minutes as much as people would like. But I think that also comes down a lot to, for whatever reason, Jose Mourinho didn't like to play him for more than 60 or 70 minutes. And Ryan Mason didn't like him for, again, like whatever reason. I don't know why that was, but.
Well, we all know Ryan Mason loved to play his mates. So we like to, I know everybody making this joke, mates FC.
Yeah.
Thank God Ryan Mason no longer here. But because it was ridiculous what he was doing. I have no idea why he was not playing Joe Rodon either.
Yeah. He made some really interesting decisions that I'm hoping that he was told by Daniel Levy to play the likes of Winks, Sanchez, and Alderweireld and Dyer just to try to like boost their transfer value. And I said that before, and it's probably not true, but that's what I'm gonna hold on to. All right, next up, we have Tobey Alderweireld. I'd put him in sell if the price is right. What do you think?
I mean, Tobey has been, oh my gosh, him and Jan have done a lot for the club. And this is another Hugo Lloris situation where I think it's like we're trying to move on from our past players as much as like
Mhm.
it hurts Spurs fans like myself and you, of course, to say, okay, we need to let go of players that have been here for a long time, and it's time to look for the future as a club.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, Tobey, I love you, man, but yeah, it is probably time. I know reports he wants to leave. So
Yeah, I think it's probably best for everyone at this point.
yeah.
Next up, we have Ben Davis, and I would also put him in the sell if the price is right category. I think
Okay.
I think he's done a lot for the club over the years, and I think he could offer something for us next season. You know, because we have Reguilon and Sessegnon, who are both kind of more attacking pullbacks. So I could see us keeping him just to, like, have a little more of a like defensive capability, or if we wanted to play a back three, he could definitely play on the left side of that. But if someone came in with the 20 million offer, I'd take it in a heartbeat.
I would too. I would definitely agree. I don't have much to say about Ben Davis.
Yeah.
So
I think that's a like kind of classic Ben Davis. He's just 6 out of 10, consistent, never drops a stinker, never drops a world class performance. He's just kind of always mediocre. So
yeah.
All right. Next up, we have Harry Winks.
Oh no. Yeah, sell. 100% sell for me.
Sell?
Yes. Mm-hmm. I think the reason why Winks, I mean, he's shown capability with the Premier League, but I don't think his play style is. I mean, I don't think he's good enough for Spurs. The way he plays, I mean, he's kind of a mix, and it's weird how I could describe how he plays, but I think it is time. I mean, because I know City wanted him for some reason. They offered 40 million. We rejected that. Yeah. Why the hell? I don't know. I think that was sometime last year. I could be wrong on the money, but
yeah, I think it was 40 million. I think you're right.
Oh my gosh, that would have been such a steal if we let City take Harry Winks.
Yeah, I think for me, I'd put him in sell if the price is right. I think over. I think if it was 20 million or over, or actually no, I think 25 million or over, I'd take it. The only reason I wouldn't put him in the sell now category is because he's a Spurs boy. He's been at the club for forever.
That's true.
And he plays for the badge when he does play. Two, this kind of goes along with that, but he's homegrown, and we're already kind of struggling to make up those numbers.
That is true.
And then the last thing I was going to say is under Pochettino, he was fantastic. And then I think under Mourinho's play style didn't like
fit.
Actually, no, I'm gonna switch this. I'm gonna put him in sell if they don't improve. I think give him a season under Nuno and see how he does with Nuno's tactics and Nuno's philosophy. Because I think just the counter-attacking system under Mourinho didn't play to Winks' strengths at all.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's what I'm gonna go with on that. Okay. But I put Bergwijn into the do not sell for you, so I'm gonna put Winks into the sell if they don't improve on that one.
That's fair.
Next up we have Cameron Carter-Vickers. I'd put him in the sell now. I'm American, we're both American, so. Both like him and loved for him to succeed at Spurs, but he has a year left on his contract, and I just don't see him breaking in. He's already 23.
Yeah, he's gonna need to leave the club.
Yeah,
I think he's good, but like we have not given him enough opportunities to prove himself.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's impressed on his loans to the Championship. So I could see him playing for like a lower Premier League side, like maybe someone like Newcastle.
Yeah. I would agree. I would 100% agree with you on that one.
All right, next up we have Davinson Sanchez. I'm gonna put him.
Leave.
Sell now.
Please leave.
I liked Sanchez a lot when he came in, and I still want to like him, but he makes too many mistakes, and we need to move him on.
Yeah.
We need to bring in someone new. He's had, I think, 2 or 3 seasons now of performing under what we expect from him. And I think Bodie and I got into a little bit of an argument last time. I think it was a podcast we were talking about Sanchez and or no, I think it was actually Charlie that I was getting into it with. But we spent 40 million on him, and he's had 1 good season. Like that's just not good enough, and it's also not good enough from our scouts. Spending 40 million on someone to have 1 good season, like they have to be a little bit better at the job. But yeah, that's what I would say.
Okay, I would definitely agree with you. Yeah, to Sanchez. I mean, he is my least favorite Spurs player for a reason.
Oh.
I mean, I'm sorry. As a center defender, if I still remember this goal to this day, the diving header.
That was really
with Davinson Sanchez. I was as soon as I saw that, I'm like, why in the actual hell are you trying to do a diving header inside your own box?
That was definitely the turning point I think his Spurs career. I mean, I think his performances had been low before that, but people were kind of just looking past it, and then that happened. And I'm watching Loki, something like the Cortex events or whatever they're called. But that was the event that kind of turned the Spurs fan base against him, and just the fact that we let that lead slip. So yeah. But next up we have Ryan Sessegnon. For me, he's a do not sell. I think we have to give him a season in the club where he's getting minutes.
Like I said, I'm hopeful for our future. Skips, Young. I mean, when Sessegnon was at Fulham, I was really, really happy when I found out we were signing him, because we all knew his capabilities. I mean, and I'm sure the Bundesliga has helped him quite a bit in his development. But is he going to be a normal first-time starter? No, he is not. I don't think he's ready to be that person yet. Because
I could definitely see him getting a lot of minutes in the FA Cup and Carabao Cup and in the Conference League, and then even just rotating with Region when we get into kind of the winter fixtures where everything's getting really crammed and players need rest. So
I would.
Or even if Region gets injured, I could definitely see Sessegnon stepping in. And he had a good year in the Bundesliga. I was able to watch a few of his games, and he impressed me when I did watch. So
and I also love Sessegnon. So I mean, I'm excited to see him play for us. So.
All right. Next up, we have Japhet Tanganga. This is a tricky one.
That was a tricky one. I don't think we should. I don't
think we should sell him. I totally don't think we should sell him. I'm just saying maybe we should consider loaning him. I'm just saying. So if we have Dari and Tomiyasu, if we get that deal over the line, which is stressing me out, the fact that we've been in negotiations with them for so long and it hasn't happened. But if we have 2 right backs in front of him in the pecking order, or if we sell Sanchez and Dyer, and then we only sign 1 center back to replace them, I'd love to see Tanganga step in as a center back. But I don't want to see another season of him getting 5 Premier League appearances. If Nuno has a plan for him to be a part of the first team, great. But if he's just going to be on the fringes of the first team and barely get any minutes, then I think we should definitely send him out on loan.
Okay.
But we can leave him in the do not sell, because I do like him a lot. I think he was done dirty last season by Mourinho.
I mean, I tell people this, and I think he is one of the brightest young talents maybe in the world, because we saw the way he played against that one time versus Liverpool. I mean, he shut down Mo Salah and freaking Mane but that's a game we should not have lost. But
no. And then again, this season, in his first Premier League appearance of this season, he was kind of just thrown into the deep end in our game against Man City. And we did lose the game 3-0, but he had Sterling on lockdown. I mean, all 3 of the goals either came from the right side or through the middle. And he absolutely just clamped down on Sterling, and nothing came from Sterling's left wing. So
okay, I put him do not sell.
Next up, we have Giovanni Lo Celso.
Do
I'd
not.
put him in do not sell.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you. I mean, he had a very good Copa America.
Yeah, he was fantastic.
had-
I watched a lot of his games.
America, and like, I think he should be a normal starter for us. I really think he should get first team minutes. Because, I mean, what a lot of people I think don't understand about Lo Celso is that like he brings that same aspects like Bergwijn. He's versatile in the midfield. He reads the game very well. I think he might be our best mind. He might be the best game reader for a midfield that we have. And I mean, I would love to see that combination. I mean, even if we sign a war, which I mean, God knows if we sign a war, then that's just, I mean, that's going to be moon over rocks, because that when Leon was playing with Tengai and a war, they were
incredible.
It was disgusting. But I
definitely like to see us try the Lo Celso, Højbjerg, Domblé midfield again. I think there's still potential there.
There is.
Yeah.
There's a lot of potential there, I think. But I put Gio and do not sell, and plus he's also one of my favorite players. So.
All right. Next up, we have Joey Rodon. I put him in do not sell as well.
I would agree. I mean, bright young talent. He proved he was maybe our best center back last season.
Yeah. Which is kind of pathetic from our other center backs, that like some unproven kid from Swansea can just step in and be our best center back. Like,
he proved a lot of Spurs fans wrong. He proved me wrong. I thought he was going to be a flop. I thought he was going to be a flop of signing, and then he quickly became one of my favorite players. So I think he's a bright young talent. I think he's still got years of experience left under him. And I think he is a massive part of our future.
Yeah, I agree.
Club. So I could see him maybe being a captain. I could potentially maybe see that.
Yeah, good as well. He definitely has like that leadership quality about him too.
It does. He does.
All right. Next up, we have Musa Sissoko. Sell now.
Please do.
I like Musa Sissoko a lot. But one of the things that like was like one of his best characteristics was his work rate, and like he was constantly running for us. And he's lost that. He doesn't put in the same amount of effort that he used to. He doesn't seem like he wants to be here. So I think it's time for him to move on. And he only has a year left on his contract. So got to cash in while we can.
Oh, when we could get the money now. So.
All right. Next up, we have Harold Kane. I put him in do not sell.
What more can you say about potentially the best striker in the world? Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, if he leaves the city, he leaves the city. What can we do? I mean, at least we get like 150 million from it, maybe. So
I think I've seen some people say like, oh, we should sell him to City because then we can like kind of rebuild the team with the money and we can sign a new striker. But I think something to remember is the last strikers we've signed have been Carlos Vinicius, who, to be fair, he was pretty solid for us. But then Vincent Janssen, Clinton Nagy, Fernando Llorente, Roberto Soldado. I do not trust the Spurs board to sign a striker that can like adequately replace Harry Kane. And before that, I mean Emmanuel Adebayor. And he was all right for a couple seasons, but I do not trust anyone to replace Harry Kane and do what he does for our team.
Agreed.
So yeah, I'm not selling it. We have Heung-min Son. I think that's pretty obvious as well. Straight do not sell.
I think I just heard he signed his new contract. So
yeah.
So I mean, if we lose Kane, we still have our.
Sonny.
Oh, Sonny.
Oh, Sonny. Yeah, I think Fabrizio Romano just said the contract is basically agreed. He'll sign it. It's I think he said 200K a week. So
good.
Beautiful.
Good.
Next up is Matt Doherty. I'd put him in a sell if they don't improve. I think I'd give him the season. And if he performs how he did in the last game of the season against Leicester, I say we keep him. But if he performs like he did for the basically rest of the season, I'd look to move him on next summer.
I would agree. I think he was one of the best right backs in the league when he played under Nuno. That's what I'm excited about.
Yeah, I'm excited to see him back under Nuno.
Because I know that parent, because with Nuno's technicalities, with Doherty at Wolves, I watched a lot of Wolves games when Doherty was there. And I was like, okay, this guy is, I
He's
think
definitely
this
one of the best in the league.
Second best right back in the league behind Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Yeah, I think in 1920, Doherty created like the second most chances out of any fullback in the league, behind only Alexander-Arnold. So that's just, he's a quality player. We should have to kind of unlock him. Next up, we have Eric Dyer. I think we can agree on that one.
Yeah,
so
please.
No.
He's not a center back. He's a defensive mid.
Yeah, you think so? I think, I mean, I think I'd like to see him try defensive mid again. I mean, I want the club to sell him. I think it's time for him to go. But if we did keep him, I think maybe try him at defensive mid. But I don't want to take minutes away from Skip either. I don't know. I think, I don't know. He makes too many mistakes. I think he's a little too full of himself.
I
to be honest,
would probably agree with you.
I mean, I think he did an interview at like almost the end of the season, and he said he didn't understand the criticism he's getting. He thought he'd been performing well overall. And credit to him, he was a beast at the beginning of the season. Absolute beast. Nothing got past him. He was incredible. And then that just kind of went away. I think I've said this before, but Tottenham's league placement correlated with Eric Dyer's form. At the beginning of the season, Eric Dyer was a beast, and we were top of the table. And then Eric Dyer's form dropped, and then we dropped. So it's just, when we don't have that solid center back in the back, our form just goes out the window. So I think it's critical that we bring in a solid center back like Christian Romero or Jules Koundé. So that's what I'd say overall.
I would agree.
Next up, Lucas Moura. I'd put him in the sell if the price is right category.
Yeah.
And we already talked a little bit about Dane Scarlett and Oliver Skip. I'd put both of them straight into the do not sell. I think they're the future of our team. And
I would definitely agree with you on that one.
All right. Any closing thoughts before we wrap it up?
I got none. How about you, sir?
I think we're all good. Thank you for watching, or combined watching and listening there. Thank you for watching. We appreciate all of you. Remember to follow us on Instagram and on Twitter. It's at One Hotspur Pod. No numbers, no periods, no underscores, just at One Hotspur Pod. We have a podcast that'll come out probably on Saturday or Sunday. So keep your eye out for that. Make sure to subscribe to us. We're trying to hit 100 before the end of the month. We'll catch you in the next one. Come on, you Spurs.